Hello and welcome everybody to the Buy Round podcast with Jimmy and Hindy. We need a better name.
Do we need to work on it?
We need to work on a name. Maybe our listeners can.
Fat man in the Fanta pants.
Fat man in the Fanta pants. I mean,
Fanta pants and the fat man.
Maybe naked trees, mini cow semen involved in the working title after last week's shenanigans. Maybe our listeners can come. We'll put.
Yeah.
We'll delegate our workload to the listeners to come up with a name.
Do they win a prize?
They get to brag.
Can we give away a car? Or is that, or am I going? Am I just let's just pull it back a little bit?
I probably just reined it in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
We do have a new sponsorship coming up that we're going to talk about with Hyundai and their hybrid vehicles, but I don't think they're quite going to donate a car off the top.
We don't know that though. We haven't asked them.
We haven't asked them yet, but I think that wasn't in the contract that we signed. But first, Hindy, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? You look dishevelled today.
What does dishevelled mean?
Shit house.
Do I?
Yeah. Tired, run down. Tell us about your weekend.
Well, obviously the finals were predominantly what the weekend was about, but I also ran a marathon on Sunday. Alarm was set for 3:45. Got the train into the city, ran the marathon, finished that.
How long is the marathon?
It took me about 4 hours. Well, 4 hours 28.
And how many kilometres in a marathon?
42 Ks.
Is that a standard marathon? Is that what they call a marathon?
No,
so
normal.
42 clicks.
Yeah, and a bit. 42 and a bit.
Jeez.
So it was a fair.
So you did that.
Then
in four and a bit hours.
Yeah. Then
so
went to
a little bit off the pace, but anyway, you did it. You got there.
Got there in the end.
Yeah.
Well, we were saying I had the same hip surgery as you, the hip resurface, but I was before they advanced the surgery.
So we did speak about that because So they went through your gluteus maximus.
They did.
So they cut through your glute.
Yeah.
To get to your hip.
Rip
pull it apart.
Which is probably the worst part of it. I think that's where the most of the recovery happens, is that muscle coming back together. But you went.
They went through my hip flexor, through the front of my hip. Yeah. So they go through the front. So I was up and about. I was a day in hospital and then one crutch for a day, and then that was it. I was walking.
What I would have gave for that, like, get the violin out, mate. I was in hospital for 4 days, and that was the standard practice.
Yeah.
And then got out, and I was just.
Well, they've got to cut through so much muscle.
The doctor did say that to me, like, "Oh, mate, because it's usually for the elderly. This operation." And he goes, "Oh, geez, I won't forget you in a hurry. I had to really get into it. I was like, "Oh, thanks, mate."
Now, was your hip sore in your groin or in your hip?
Groin and mainly groin.
Mine was mainly groin.
Yeah, mainly groin.
So I couldn't bend over to put shoes and socks on.
Yeah. Putting a sock on was like a sit on the stairs, rock, and like almost like a fish, like trying to net it over. Like, hey! And then,
it's a bugger of a pain, isn't it?
It's bizarre. And then getting the shoe on, like, never. I got to the point, I've still not transitioned back into tying laces properly because I used to leave all my trainers tied. Yeah. Because I knew I couldn't.
But even still, tied up, you still have to try and grab the heel of the shoe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when you try and slide your foot into a jogger you fold the heel over and then you stuff them.
I do. But yeah, I've still not properly got back into untying my shoes to take them off because I was in the process. Well, it was just made it life easier to have tied shoes and get them on.
Because my fat guts gets in the way. I still got to hold my breath to do my shoelaces up. You know when you hold your breath to do your shoelaces? Visceral fat, people. Visceral.
But yeah, the doctor also said, like, well, I told him I was doing a half marathon on my 2-year checkup, and he was blowing up at me for that. He said, pack it in after that. But then I did the full, so defied
So you're
medical
not
advice.
Supposed to run on a hip.
I don't think it's advisable.
Isn't it?
No, that's what the doctor said.
I don't remember what my doctor said. I was too high, I think, when he spoke to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're good now.
Yeah.
And then you had to go do radio.
Yeah, radio after that, and then I called the Dogs game, which was emotional.
Are you disappointed?
Yes, I am.
Because you spent so much on giving fans tickets? Is that why you're disappointed?
No.
What a great gesture, by the way.
Thank you, yeah. Well, I've done the Big Six again for this week if they won. So
you're off the hook.
Off the hook for 10 grand. So every cloud. No, but mate, the game was there. The game was there to be had. It really was, and
it was. But you kind of think, why didn't they get across the line? What are your thoughts?
We'll come to that in a moment. We're going to kick off the show with, like I said, we've got a new vehicle sponsor on board. There is no prizes in terms of the vehicle being given away, but big thanks to Hyundai and their hybrid heroes. So we've got to pick a hybrid hero. I actually went down to Hyundai in North Sydney with Cheese and met a guy there called Alex who showed us around. They've got some primo vehicles, absolute primo.
I'm sure they do. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because I'm looked after by another car company.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm actually in the market for a car, and I think they've turned my head. So, but anyway, the idea of this segment of the show is pick a hero from the weekend. So, am I going to go first? Yeah, I'll let you go first. Yeah,
because I don't. Who have you got written down? Where's your one written down?
I've got it in my head.
Well, mine's in my head as well.
Yeah,
mine came from the first game of the round. No, it wasn't the first game. Second game.
Second game was the
Storm.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go Harry Grant. I thought he had an outstanding performance. A first hat trick as well.
Jagged that hat. Didn't have to do much.
Well, but he had to be there.
He did.
He did have to be. He had to be around the ball.
Yeah,
he had to make that effort to be around the ball. So yeah, I'm going Harry Grant because we all know what he can do. He's a star player, but to score 3 tries in a semi-final like that, he was my Hyundai
hybrid
hero.
Yeah. Well, mine is Viliami Kickout. Even though the Bulldogs lost, I just loved what he brought to the game. And it's not just attack, it's not just defence, it's effort areas as well. His kick pressure and his kick chase. Like Hopewarte and Talau, the 2 wingers for Manly, they didn't get over 100 metres, which is very rare. And it was all down to the kick chase led by Kickout. So he brought that, he brought some skill, he brought some brute force. He brings everything, and that's why he's my Hyundai hybrid hero.
He was very impressive. But what do you think on the charge down that he didn't get that? We had a bit of a chat in the green room at Fox for the Matty show.
Should you do it?
Yeah, it's a big play. Like if it comes off and he gets the bounce,
I know what you're saying.
We're all like, how good is he? But then when you do it and you give away another 6 tackles on nearly halfway.
I know.
It's one of those tricky ones. Because we were always like, we were told towards it, well, you got to just spook the kicker.
Yeah.
Don't put your arms up, just spook.
Attack from the inside, so then you're no chance of getting the ball. But he goes for it.
Yeah. And he's been good at it.
And it was all he needed
was the bounce of the ball.
Not even to score. If he gets a perfect bounce, he scores. Yeah. If he gets an okay bounce, he regathers, gets tackled. He got a bad bounce and Manly got another set.
So you're playing with him at that point, right? You're in that scenario. He charges it down, gives away another set of 6. You're thinking to yourself,
"Oh mate,
you're not happy, are you?"
No. If I'm in the middle, if I'm in the middle, I'm going.
That's what I mean. If you're on the edge, doing those ones, because you don't have to. You move up a meter. Oh no, they're not coming this way. Yeah,
if you carouse, you go.
I'll just stand where I've been standing for the last 10 minutes. Yeah.
But he had a magnificent.
I thought he did have a great game too. Yeah, he's probably the most aggressive I've seen for a longer period of time for the whole game because he tends to go in bursts. But I thought he had an outstanding game in a losing side.
Also, just like we get obsessed with stats and like numbers. Like especially in attack, and people criticize people like David Fafita in the past, and now he's upped his work rate in terms of his carries, but they're not as effective. I think Kickout had like 7 runs for less than 100 meters, but they were all quality that he brought, and he brought effort areas to the game, and it impacted the game. So his kick chase,
but you got to
was a huge part of like negating Manly and keeping them in their own end.
But also too, he's an edge back rower as well. So he's not going to always get the carries. Like you might get an early one every now and then if he's getting back on side, getting behind the ball early, if he's feeling fresh in that set. But sometimes you might not touch the ball in a set.
Yeah.
It's not like playing in the middle.
I know, but like sometimes we criticize players for not being involved enough.
Well, I think there is times when we can criticise because they're fresh enough to get involved
Yeah.
and they're happy to just sit there and not have a carry. But if you're going looking for one, we don't mind so much.
Yeah.
But with the Fafita, for example, I think we criticise him a little bit because it's either a dummy half scoot 5 metres out from his own try line, or no, from the opposition's try line, where we know he can be a little bit more involved. But also, too, Fafita's defensive efforts in the back end of the year weren't up to standard. Yeah.
Anyway, big thanks to Hyundai for coming on board. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, and great work.
We're giving away a free car, apparently.
Yeah, watch out for that one, Alex. When you're watching this or listening to this, we'll get into the games. We will go to that Dogs game. An amazing atmosphere, and it's a shame that the Dogs fans are not going to be there for the rest of the final series. I thought they were absolutely outstanding. The game was there though for the Dogs. It really was, and just a couple of moments just gave Manly the opportunity. You know, you think the couple of knock-ons from, well, Kicker had one off the tap. Reed Marnie putting a kick through. It was
Cherry Bronson at the end. Went Moran Bronson. You know, pretty close together in that back end of that half. Yeah, pretty basic ones too.
And then literally Cherry Evans going absolutely nowhere last play. Passes it on the inside to Tommy, and Kohler goes up the other end and scores. It's like,
where was the Dogs' right edge? I know Sexy Legs was chasing.
Crichton actually I think he tackled Luke Brooks
because he came in.
Yeah, he came in.
Yeah, because I'm going, where's their right edge disappeared to?
Yeah,
but because the play came from the 50. Came from the middle of the field pretty much.
Well, it went to the right, which was the Bulldogs left, and then switched back to Tommy in the middle.
Yeah,
and then bang.
Quick hands. And
it was. It was devastating. And then even on the 2-point field goal, or there was two from Burton. It
didn't have the legs.
But Burton does have it, but I think they messed up their setup.
I thought the first one they went one too early. But
I think that was last place, and they didn't actually pass it to Burton in the end.
No, they got a bit of a mix-up.
Up, and then
they found him.
Yeah. And the second one, again, they probably mix a bit of a mix-up.
Yeah.
Because Burton's got that in him, and he hit it accurate enough, but just not long enough.
Yeah.
Which sort of...
I thought it was an outstanding game from both teams. You know, I thought the Dogs had the upper hand for the majority of the game, and a little bit different to what we saw a few weeks earlier when they played each other, where it was total domination from the Manly forward pack. It just, the Dogs came out ready to go. Like they were pumped for this. Massive big crowd for them. Look, the Cherry Evans try off that scrum was absolutely outstanding. Great set play, and they got a lift from that. They got a huge lift from that, and they kind of got them. I think that's what got them over the line in the end. And also too, I think Tommy was busted. Definitely the first half he was busted. Turbo, and then got fixed up at halftime. He was a different man in the second half. Still timid, but his involvement was a lot more.
Yeah. The Bullimore tried just before halftime as well. Like that gives Manly a little bit of hope. I reckon if Hopewati doesn't go up and catch that ball, which was an amazing piece of skill, not to knock it on into
but then
Connor
Bullimore
Tracy.
gets it, and then Bullimore, what did he beat? He stepped one,
and
then free run to the try line pretty much. You kind of think, in those scenarios, this is what you learn. This is what players learn. In these big games, when the ball goes up, you've got to be around the ball. Everyone has to be around the ball a lot more. And I think they stood and watched for a bit too much.
It's one of those, isn't it? The last play, it doesn't end until we've got the ball
in your hands. Yeah, exactly.
And in the 38th minute of a playoff game, you can fall into that trap of just, it's Tracy's ball.
But you can't. That's the thing.
No,
You've got to keep moving.
Exactly.
You have to move.
You need numbers in the picture.
That was a Brian Smith thing. Like if he would see on the Eagle Cam video on Tuesday on the Eagle Cam, you catch anyone walking, like the ball goes up. It's not the fullback's job just to be there by himself.
It's everyone's job.
Everyone's job to keep moving because you don't know where the ball's going to go.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got to move. You've got to move.
A classic example was the Ruben Cotter one in the Knights v the Cowboys, where Cotter was there in the picture, and there was he just did enough. It was an attacking situation. He just keeps moving. Keeps
But
moving. He's there and bang.
Bang.
But just on the Tommy Trbojevic situation, I don't think it's his shoulder. I think it's his knee. It was
Well,
heavily,
he was. Yeah, I think it was a bit. I think he did. Did he hurt his knee early?
Well, he hit his knee in the game against the Dogs. He was hobbling in the second half.
He banged it.
But because Saab went off, they couldn't make a change. So they sort of kept him out there. Then he did his shoulder. He missed the week against the Sharks and then come back. And all the focus is on his shoulder. And you know what it's like to have an AC joint.
Yeah.
It almost, it's like it's not there
Yeah.
when you get the jab.
Yeah.
So for me, when he was lacking that punch, I just thought, well, it must be his knee. Because you don't hold back with the AC shoulder, especially if it's injected.
Yeah. Well, did he have it? I don't know if did he get injected prior to the kickoff?
Yeah. He got injected
then
before
half-time.
and at half time.
That Crichton try, that one where he just scored, Crichton on that kick, and Tommy's running across the field. Yeah, that was, and he wasn't full sprinting then, and he did not want to dive on that ball.
No.
But then when Crichton did score, you see Turbo on the line on the ground, just out of shot, holding his his arm. Yeah.
I reckon Manly have got, I know they're saying he's going to be all right, but there was times in the game where like he was not helping the attack. So usually on those shifts, like there was one where he's passed to Hopawate and he got bundled into touch.
Yep.
Tommy normally just accelerates there, and there was a couple of times where I thought he's going to gun it, or a fully fit Tommy would just hit the accelerator and take them on. Like that 3-man defender instead of dishing it to the outside, and he didn't. And I just wonder.
He gave it early too.
Yeah. And I just wonder whether or not maybe Seabold will look to put him in the centres this week, just because his presence is everything. Like,
and then Hopawati goes to fullback.
Yeah, and then they've got that speed out the back and that ability to accelerate.
But still, a busted Tommy, I think, needs to have his hands on the ball.
In the centres and given that little bit of free rein. I know obviously then the defensive workload increases, but
it's going to be a tricky one because
like it's a dilemma for Seabold. Like, do you have your best player that everybody says no Tommy, no title, or do you go, well, look, he's not fit?
But also too, I think you've got to be able to grit your teeth as well and just keep going. You have to.
But he's as tough as they come. According to like a few people at Manly, they said like this guy's made of strong stuff.
Yeah.
But if your knee's gone, your knee's gone.
Yeah. You can't run.
No, you can't.
I don't know. I'd have to keep him at fullback. I'd have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, they take on.
Just stick more needles in him.
Just stick more needles in him. Yeah.
We've all played with needles.
Yeah, but in your knee, I don't know if you can get him like a
bit of a deep heat.
Bit of deep heat.
Goanna oil.
Bit of Percocet. Did you ever use Percocet?
Huh?
It's just very. It reacted once the pores opened. So you put it on at first, nothing doing, and then once you started to sweat, it kicked into gear. And it used.
Is this an English thing?
It was available over here as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you use it?
I did, yeah.
Like your Vaso on your face?
Vaso was on the legs, not
was
the
it
face.
On your face? You didn't Vaso the face?
No need.
Are you sure?
100%.
I think I've got images of you with Vaso on your face.
That was via Nate Miles. So Nate Miles, he tackled, he took it off me and just whacked it in my face, which I actually thought was brilliant. I didn't have a go at him. I was just like, but I'd do exactly the same. Well done. I'll take that all day.
Vaso. That's very 80s.
It was to make you more difficult, or make me more difficult.
Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Slippery.
Yeah. An old coach when I was like 12, 13, cooking oil on the legs.
Cooking oil? Bit of Cosmo Kramer. Didn't he use cooking oil?
I don't know.
Did you watch Seinfeld?
No.
Was he tanning with oil?
Oh, right. No. Oh, no. I don't know.
You don't watch Seinfeld?
No.
What?
No, I know. I enjoy Curb Your Enthusiasm as well.
Yeah, Curb's good.
Yeah, Curb. Yeah. But no, never done Seinfeld.
Oh, you've got to do yourself a favour. Watch a bit of Seinfeld.
A few people have said that, but no.
But now you're coming to think, George Costanza, I'm starting to get a tight chest just thinking about his scenarios. He makes me tight-chested. I get all anxious and nervous watching George. Yeah.
I know who George is.
Like
but
he has a zipper that he can't undo in one episode.
Yeah.
On a jacket. Now I'm starting to get annoyed. Yeah.
But yeah, the Manly Seagulls advance. They play the Roosters, who were totally dominated by
the
Panthers. Panthers were almost perfect.
Yep.
As soon as Tupou made that mistake, Penrith just ramped up, got a 6 again, scored. And realistically, from that moment on, I thought it was as good as over.
It was probably one of the more dominant performances I've seen of the Panthers this year. I know Cleary's back. And what about him? Easing his way into a semi-final.
He did not look like he had a bad shoulder.
Not at all. Didn't even... anyone else would come out, I'll have maybe an early touch and get the ball away early, get involved into a tackle, but he's just out of the blocks, bang. Mate, everything. He's the Iceman.
He was looking, when the ball went away from him and then it came back, he was looking to accelerate into a gap, which you don't normally do if you've got a busted shoulder.
And Leota, Fisher-Harris, I think they're back to their best. I think, I don't know whether they've been foxing us for a few months, just playing, just doing what they need to do. You know what I mean? And now they've come out and just gone bang. We've set we've shot a fire across the bow and ready to go.
Well, a lot of people were looking at the job of Nathan Cleary coming up against Angus Crichton. So it was Crichton and Luke Keary versus Cleary and Liam Martin. And Liam Martin and...
Well, he's mad.
Well, he gave Luke Keary nightmares.
Well, that's his job, isn't it?
He was giving him nightmares.
Well, I think Liam Martin still has got the shits from where young Campbell stepped in the other week, made him look like an idiot because they took the piss out of him in video session apparently. So you don't want to fire up Liam.
No, he poor old Luke Keary was.
But that's your job. If you're that's his job, being on that edge, and we've all played that position. Well, you may not have been on the edge because you need a bit of leg speed. That was our job. We picked out the weaker defenders, and we just terrorised them. And either the playmaker hit us on a short ball at them, or we'd suck them in and they'd go around behind us and create a 3-on-2.
A few of those plays where they dropped Liam Martin and some other edges underneath as well, like they just isolated him.
Yeah,
and
it's not about making the break; it's just the quick play the ball.
Yeah,
and then you go again off the back of that.
The forward pass was a point of conjecture, but I
still can't see it. I've looked at vision and it was a hard one. Did you think it was forward?
No, I don't.
I don't think it was, but I can see why actually Klein may have thought it was forward from where his position.
Yeah, and it's those are the difficult decisions you've got to get right, or at least, you've got to get them right. It didn't go the way, but I don't think it was the reason the Roosters lost.
But they're on their way back.
They were.
They scored 2 quick tries at the start of that second half, and they were looking all right. And then that would have been a try.
And I think if you're the Roosters, you hold on to the fact of everyone's saying Penrith wiped the floor with us, but we started awful. Tupou made those 2 drops early doors. We invited pressure on ourselves. We almost beat ourselves. And then look what we did. We came out in the second half, 2 quick tries, should have been a third. And at that point, we were back in the contest. So Roosters will hold on to that. Yeah, you look at the scoreline and go, it was 30 points to 10. We were dominated. But there's things they will hold on to and say, we're actually, we can make an effort in this competition.
Well, they needed to start better.
Yeah.
I don't think they were well off where they expected to be in semi-final, for semi-final sort of footy, with semi-final atmosphere and all that sort of stuff. I think they were just ready to work their way into a game, and they just got blown off the park early, and that was it. You can't give away that much of a lead in a semi-final and think you're going to get it back. So, and I don't think they used... Yeah, they got... Obviously, the Chooks, without key players in the side. But I don't think they used their power men in regards to Lenu didn't come on until the game was pretty much done.
Yeah,
and he's a firework. He had something. Angus Crichton probably didn't get the ball he was supposed to be getting.
He was looking to offload a bit too. It looked like he was going in.
Preconceived idea. I need to offload. Yeah,
and that's a bit of scoreboard pressure as well.
Trying to create something. Yep. Yeah.
And just on that, Penrith are a team that defend leads really well. They force you into premeditating things and starting to play a bit of scoreboard pressure. But also, I was going to ask you, have you ever played a team where, because you know they're going to be close to perfect and you can't beat yourselves, a bit of mentality of like, that's almost a psychological blow where you're thinking about the opposition and what they rather than what you can do.
Melbourne Storm.
Well, yeah, it's exactly like Melbourne.
Yeah.
We can't beat ourselves today, lads. Let's not make any silly errors. Tupou, 5th set of the game.
Well, I think it was the 2009 grand final. As soon as we worked out we're playing the Storm, everything kind of changed.
Yeah.
And it's all about not how we were playing our game, how we got there. It's like, oh, okay, how do we stop the Storm? Not let's focus on what got us there and play that game. I think it seemed to me that we played a style of footy that on grand final day that was different to how we got there.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But that was because we were playing against the Storm, and they had all these key players all over the field. We go, oh, what's he going to do? Well, back at what they're going to do. Let's work on what we're going to do. Yeah.
And you know what? You probably do need to do something different to beat the likes of the Panthers and the Storm. But I reckon they land a bit of a psychological blow before a ball's kicked off because it's like, oh shit, we got Panthers. Like, we've got to apply ourselves differently. We've got to think differently.
Well, Panthers want to get into an arm wrestle. They want to keep the ball in.
Yeah.
I think it was, who was it? Luai said, I think it was at a halftime against the Dragons, and the ball was going out a lot. There was a lot of mistakes, and they couldn't get into a rhythm, couldn't get into a pattern. I think Lara Pitt was talking to him at halftime. He goes, it's a bit stop-start. It's not what we want. We're looking to try and get into that arm wrestle.
Yeah.
And then tire them out. So when it's stop-start, you want to kind of and keep Dylan Edwards off the ball. So fine touch, slow the game down.
Yeah, maybe that's a tactic to try and make it messy.
Yeah, just got to make it make it messy. Don't let them get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Because they get into this scenario where the front rowers know their role. They know what play they're doing, all that sort of stuff. The wingers, Toto comes in, he has to carry on play 1 or play 2. Break it up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Can anyone stop the Panthers going 4 in a row?
I thought they could before I saw them on the weekend. I thought, Penrith, I think it could be done. I think they're looking a bit fatigued. They're not quite right. But then to come out and blow the Chooks away, who are still classy size, still got quality players in their team, and to put the points on them as easily and as quickly as they did, and Nathan Cleary being part of that, who's been out for a while, it's going to be hard. I think the only one I think Storm are the only chance to do it, and that's only if Munster plays like he did on the weekend, where he's involved in carrying the ball all the time. But again, I think you get a coin and you toss it at the moment. See how you go. But do you think they're going to go 4 in a row?
Well, the way things are lining up, it looks as if the Panthers are going to play the Storm in the final, and two teams that don't land psychological blows against each other before the kickoff. So if the Panthers play at their best and the Storm play at their best, I don't know who wins.
A replay.
I genuinely, mate.
Do we do replay grand finals?
Unfortunately not, no.
Is it Golden Point?
No, it's not Golden Point. It's extra
time and then Golden Point
for finals games, yeah.
That'd be exciting. I don't think I'd see the end of it.
Why? Oh.
Because I'd be drunk.
Yeah.
And I don't like seeing the end of grand finals anyway.
Yeah, I know
when they
all
celebrate and carry on.
Yeah.
I always turn it off.
Yeah. Just on that Storm game, again, the kickoff, Will Kennedy.
Yeah.
Error.
Yeah.
And then
but too many vital errors from the Sharks, I thought. Yeah. Not finding touch. Massive, huge blow. Kickoff. Knock-ons.
I spoke about this on radio yesterday. Will Kennedy makes that mistake off the kickoff, right? 4 or 5 Sharks players come over and be like, pat him on the back and high five him. And part of me thinks, has the pendulum gone from like way back in the day where your teammates would spray the living, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like,
are you a fucking idiot?
Like what?
Yeah.
Like,
why are you standing there?
Yeah. Like catch the fucking ball, dickhead. Like it's a fucking semi-final. What are you doing?
It's 2024.
And it's 2024, and the pendulum swung all the way back to like,
different.
hey, we've got your back. It's okay. Well, you know what? You didn't have his back because you let them score the very next set. So is it time for the pendulum to swing back a little bit and go, Will,
You fuckwit.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Make them know that you're angry about the mistake because it's not okay. It's almost like positive. Is it positive reinforcement? It's like
maybe
behavior.
that's how I'm with you, but if I see why if you blast him, will he go into his shell and be upset about it?
And look, there's a range of personalities, and you don't want people to go in their shell. But I want you to know that that's consequential what you've just done, mate, and it pissed me off because I was about to have a run, not defend my own goal line.
I was about to take an easy 20 minutes from his stats. Yeah.
Cheers.
Because you get it, because the front row is as soon as you touch the ball, isn't it? That's when the meters start for you.
I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, but look, it's just
regardless. It was a bad start. It was a bad start, and
it
set up them. But credit to the Sharkies though, I thought that first half. Well, they did blow a few opportunities in the first half to be still hanging in there. The way the Storm were playing, the way Munster was playing, Grant was playing, Hughes. I thought they did well. Nicho scoring that try right on half time. But that's what I noticed about the Storm though. McDonald there didn't tie in on that drop.
Yeah.
And the play before, or the play when they went down the Sharks' right edge. McDonald was at marker as well, and went left. The ball went short side. He's done a big loop to come back round. Instead of stopping and turning, he's done his big semi-trailer style loop and made another huge gap. And I'm thinking, if they turn it inside there, they're going to be away there.
Yeah.
So he did back-to-back. I'm thinking to myself, Craig Bellamy, that'll be a video session.
Well, you can't do that against Cleary.
But to have that big gap on the inside,
it was huge.
It was huge. It was massive.
Well, he would have scored in touch and pass.
Yeah.
Like he would have scored in a game of touch and pass, which is un-Melbourne-like, especially considering they'd had so much of the ball and so much of the energy as well. I think, though, just on that, and it was great to see the Sharks score before half-time. It gave them a bit of hope, but ultimately they spent too much energy in that first half.
Yeah, gassed them.
Yeah.
Trying to stay with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Melbourne do. And like you said, Harry Grant, right place, right time. And, you take the piss a little bit and go, you got a hat-trick. You didn't have to do anything. But he needed to be there.
Yeah. I think, I think the offloads kind of shocked the Sharkies a little bit as well. I'm just trying to... They're not the hugest offloading side, the Storm, but I think that shocked them. I think they're going to go in for the 3-man tackle, bit of a wrestle, and the other blokes are getting back on side, being a little bit lazy, and all of a sudden offload pops out the back. I think that rattled the Sharkies a little bit.
I think now the Melbourne Storm, I think they play the winners of the Roosters and Manly. Yeah, that's right. That's probably the more difficult side of the draw, but they'd be at home. They'd be brimming with confidence going into that one.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
Well, Roosters. Well, they've already given it to the Roosters.
Yeah.
And they'll, without sounding disrespectful, Manly fans, I think they've got too much for Manly if they have to play them. I think.
So I said yes after yesterday's game, the team that'll be really happy with the Dogs v Manly game would be the Roosters. But is it good to be battle hardened in those tight games, or is it best to be
a bit flary?
Well, if you look at say like, the Cowboys did it comfortably in the end, but
I reckon they on the scoreline they did. Scoreboard.
Yeah,
yes,
that's probably not a fair reflection. They were pretty but is it better to win well in terms of like a total?
I think this point of the year, semi-final, I think to win well. I don't think you want a grinding, tough match where you're all getting bashed. Like that Cowboys-Newcastle game, both sides were gassed. Absolutely gassed. And I think the only Knights were more gassed than the Cows were at the end.
Because let's say if Manly beat the Roosters and it's another grinding game, they go down to play Melbourne
Yeah.
And it's like
fresh Melbourne.
Fresh Melbourne versus a battle-hardened Manly. Like,
what
camp would you rather be
I'd
in?
rather be in the Storm camp.
Not because of the stuff, but in terms of battle-hardened or fresh. Forget
fresh.
Fresh. Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah, I'm with you, actually.
But then we go to that thing, do you prefer to have a week off or do you want to keep playing footy?
Definitely week off.
Yeah, see, I was one of those ones who would continue to play footy.
Really?
Yeah. I just keeps the body ticking and you're in that grind of the season. All of a sudden you have this week off and it upsets the body a little bit. And you go, well, how am I? Where am I? And then he comes to the game day and go, well, have I had enough to eat? Have I had enough to drink? This is feeling better. It should be feeling sore. All that sort of thing.
I know what you're saying in terms of that week off, sort of feeling a little bit lost, but I reckon you get the benefits the following
Freshen
week.
up.
Yeah. And you're not as achy and stiff and sore. And in that game, you sense that other players are not quite on a full petrol tank.
Yeah, and you get that psychological little...
You know they're going to gas that little bit earlier. Just on that Cowboys-Newcastle game, some big moments there. The try save from Dearden just before half-time, where he got it just before Frizzell. Ruben Cotter's decision to go on the kick and beat Ponga to it. It was off the knee.
Yeah.
But it's one of them, Hindy, you speak about this, where it's like, he's not in and around, it comes off the knee, I'll react. He's already starting to react, anticipating, and then bang. Yeah. Because if he's...
if he's 3 meters further back, just jogging towards it, still he's already there.
If he's there, if he's half a yard, Ponga gets there first.
Yeah, yeah. You got to be around that ball to get the benefits of it. So but look, the Knights, we've spoken about it before. Someone needs to give Kalen a hand. Like I thought he was outstanding in the losing side. Like he did everything he possibly could. That pass he threw to Gagai through that break.
Do you reckon he should have caught that?
It was, you're top speed and you can't reach any further.
Yeah,
it's. I thought the pass could have been a little bit better, but
I reckon he maybe should have gone to Gamble on the. I think
it
was Gamble on the inside.
He blew it on the inside. There was a couple on the inside. I think Croft might have been on the inside as well. Was he?
No, Gamble.
No, Gamble. Yeah. Did I say Croft?
Yeah, you did. He hasn't played in the NRL for like 3-4 years.
I mean, Cogger. God, Croft. I watched Tomb Raider last night.
Oh, Lord.
I might have had a dream about
her.
It was definitely on the inside. The inside was open. Yeah, but he's taking Gagai on the outside.
Just when Newcastle reflect on their season and they look ahead, there are some players that they've said it looks like they're going to move on. But I reckon in the halves, they obviously Hastings on a decent wicket, Gamble, Cogger, a bit same. Are they best putting that money together and going who is the big one? But you've probably got Ilias, you've probably got Pezzett down at Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like, do you go for one of those two?
I know. I just think Cogger. I think Cogger can do it. I just think he needs to maybe relax a little bit more and play a bit of footy. Like, he doesn't seem to be. I think he just seems a little bit nervous to try something that is out of the realms of what he's supposed to be doing. Like just giving it to Kalen at the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
But maybe that's his instruction.
Well, I'm pretty sure it would be. Yeah.
We don't need you to do.
And Phoenix Crosslands, he's been everywhere. Like he's a goer. He's not going to let you down. You know what I mean?
I think he's more of a 9.
I think he's either a 9 or a 13. Yeah. But he won't disappoint you. But he's there just to pretty much again feed the ball. Nice and easy. So he's not really in the halves calculations. But they definitely need someone there to help Kalen out a bit more. But I don't know what they're going to do there.
Well, Adam O'Brien finished above 13th, so
he's
sweet for
he's a new deal.
New deal kicks in. What a great clause that is.
What an outstanding clause.
Like,
don't worry, mate. You just got to finish higher than 13th, and you'll be sweet.
It's like a negotiating. Like it basically bollocks. Like normally they go make the 8 or not, and it sounds like the agent's gone to club management. Do you want to meet in the middle? Like,
we're not really sure we're going to get in the top 8, but let's.
we won't come
last.
We know you want a clause in. We don't want a clause in. You're going to say top 8.
Yeah.
We're going to say no clause.
Yeah.
Do you want to go 13?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
look, and then you safeguard.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Sweet, okay. Like that's what it seems like. It seems like that's how the negotiation conversation went.
It's a different one
because, one, the manager doesn't say, "How about we put a 13th clause in above 13th," and the club don't say it off the bat. That's not what you know. When you think, like, if you're part of the committee, going, "Hey, tell you what how should we safeguard ourselves?" 13th?
Maybe their semi-final series it's going to change. It's going to be top 13.
Well, I know they're talking about 20 teams, but I don't know how a top 13 would work.
Well, if you come first, you have the week off.
Yeah. So then the other 12.
If you keep winning, you have another week off.
Yeah.
So, and then someone always has a week off.
Or maybe you could go like the Champions League. The top, they get like a month's rest.
Yeah.
And then the other 12 teams in four groups of 3, they all play each other. Top of the league go into.
Just let me write this down. Hang on, yeah.
And then the highest placed second team go in as well. They play first.
Yeah.
Who's had that month off. I think it's got legs. I'm sure Volandis and Abdo are just going, how come
we'll take this?
We should probably send this before it goes out, and then let them have it, and they can,
what would the system
they can
be
say
called?
It's their own idea.
What would the system be called?
The O'Brien system. Like the McIntyre
that's
system.
What I was thinking.
It'd be the O'Brien system.
Yeah. I was thinking about trying to throw our names into it a little bit somewhere.
Yeah, but I think it's been inspired by O'Brien.
Correct.
So, yeah. But Newcastle,
what's the cricket one where they work out the cricket? Duckworth Lewis.
What's that? What do you mean work out the cricket?
It's
surely on who gets them.
It's all on your strike rate and all that sort of, run rate.
Oh, in terms of like...
so on a ladder, like of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit like... Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Duckworth Lewis. O'Brien Adam. That's not bad. But yeah, they'll be... Look, that was a tough game up there.
Yeah.
Very tough game.
It was. Just moving forward into a little bit of... We're on the... like review sort of stuff. There's been a bit of stuff with player movement. Benny Hunt. This rumour won't go away about the Dolphins.
So what was... Fill me in on the season review down there at the Dragons with Flanagan and Hunt.
Well, it's not been made public, but I think if you look
wasn't
at it,
happy with his performance this year. Is that the gist of it?
I think the back end of it, especially. But he was the top try assister by some margin.
Yep.
He missed a heap of games with Origin. Mm-hmm. Him and Lomax's combination was probably a shining light in the attack.
Yep.
But he's the half, and he's only given them finals in 2018.
Not enough?
Well, that's the responsibility of the key players, but he again probably not had, like Ponga, not enough help around.
A little bit more help around. Yeah. So where's he heading?
Well,
if he does go, because he's always wanted out, hasn't he?
Yeah, and they fought so hard to keep him.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying Broncos can't afford him. No way.
What's he worth?
Well, he's on about 8, 9 at Dragons.
So another 8 or 9?
I'd say so, yeah. And I think it would be Queensland. But maybe
he wants to go. Always said he wants to go back home.
Yeah, maybe someone like maybe a team like the Roosters. Oh no, they got Townsend.
They did. They bought Townsend, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dolphins, maybe Titans if they can, but they've got 4. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Dolphins. Where would he fit in the Dolphins?
Well, it's strange they sort of dropped Katoa towards the back end.
Yeah, well, where's his coach going?
Who?
Lane.
South. Katoa. Wolves locked him in.
For how long though?
Well, he re-signed him this year.
But why didn't he play the last 2 games?
Long season, young lad. No, you're not. But they've signed Lewis Dodd from England to play
Yeah, but
seven.
he's from England. Like,
Do you reckon that deal was done without Wayne's knowledge, and he's going, I'm not having a fucking Englishman? Do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't know. Is he any good?
Dodd,
Dotty?
yeah, he was all right. Yeah,
Is
he was
he?
good. Yeah, really good player.
I'm just spitballing. Like,
Yeah.
We may have just, maybe Katoa's not that good, guys. Do you really want him at the Dolphins?
You're not going to let one of the best young halves go because
Well-
the halves are dropping. DCE's going to go soon. Johnson just went. Hunt not got long. There's a couple of older.
Yeah, it's a halves market.
There's a lot of older halves about to exit. Not that many coming through.
But do the Dragons let him go? Can the Dragons afford to let him go?
Well, I would say no, but because who else are you going to bring in?
I don't know.
Peasant, maybe. He's probably.
You like Peasant, don't you?
I do like Peasant.
Look,
Yeah.
I played with his old man.
Did you?
Yeah, Para. Yeah.
He's a good player.
Socks down.
Socks.
He was just one of the early socks down guys. Yeah. Whip it like too.
Disappointing.
Quick.
I don't like socks down.
I ended up going socks down.
Did you?
Yeah. We discussed this before.
No.
My appearance was everything when I used to run out there. Socks were always up, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. And then just got really fat and lazy and just couldn't be bothered bending over to lift socks up.
Really?
Yeah. I couldn't think of anything. I just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
I was that knackered. I just didn't.
Do you think maybe it was part of like deception, and how you can be affected? So if I'm coming up against a player with socks down, maybe I think, they're a bit rat's arse, but you're really trying to disguise the fact that you're not.
in.
Yeah. So when mind coaches talk about body language, I was like, no. I want to show that I'm tired.
I've never spoken with a mind coach. Have you had a mind coach?
We've had a couple in the time, but I was like, no, I want to look fatigued, pretend I'm fatigued, and be like, oh God, and then have someone run at me and just go, got ya,
Like a trapdoor.
fucking
Spider,
bang,
just bang.
yeah, got ya. You thought I was tired, didn't you? No.
And then I've just cut you in
Yeah.
half.
So maybe that's what he was trying to do.
No.
No.
I just think he just was socks down sort
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Maybe Wishart, another guy at Melbourne. Maybe he could play seven. Obviously, he
yes.
actually started at the Dragons.
He did. Yeah. That'd be a good buy.
Or Ilias at South, who should be right by the end of the year, because he's not going to get again. Well, assuming he won't play.
Yeah.
But
Food for thought.
food for thought.
I don't
We'll
even know
get
what
on.
that means, food for thought, but anyway.
I know it's a bit of a strange saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
As opposed to food.
Out on their
food,
feet.
food for consumption, not food for thought. I'm not thinking about my food.
I'm not, my head's hurting thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food for thought.
Out on their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I do. I'm out.
Yeah.
here.
I'm out. I'm on my feet.
I'm on my feet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go
Yes,
on, give us
please.
it, Tone.
Something that warrants serious consideration.
Yeah, we know that's what it is.
But it's
But
Yeah.
where does the where
drinks
does
for
food-
thought, what?
Yeah.
Questions for thought.
Yeah.
Favorite phrase? Different kettle of fish.
Where? What? Who?
Different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Maybe they used to boil their fish in a kettle.
See, I don't think the invention of the kettle would be before a time where people would
Or
just
maybe
boil
they had
fish.
to boil. Did they have to boil the kettle first to pour it over some fish?
Don't know.
Different kettle.
Tony, can you look-
Is there another meaning for kettle though?
Like
Like
the
something that
group,
hold-
what's
No,
the
it's a
noun? It's
pot
the
of fish.
collective noun for
Not a
fish.
pot
No,
of
it's
fish.
not.
School of fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the collective noun for crows?
A murder.
Yes, well done. Murder of crows.
Yeah.
What a fucking strange language. Imagine trying to learn English.
Fucking crows. What was that off the Crack? You know when you go, have you seen the movie The Crack? Jim
No.
Owen?
No.
That's got to do that one.
The crack.
Yeah.
Like
No,
spell,
is it The Crack?
spelt like the Irish say, "Are you up
yeah,
for the
yeah,
crack?"
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's CRAIC.
I think it was called that movie. I think that was the movie. Yeah. And then he's based in Australia, and he's trying to outrun the immigration department.
Never do
And
that.
he goes on Perfect Match.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The crack. I want to watch this. It
Jamal.
sounds interesting. Yeah.
And he ended with fucking crows. This old bloke in a melon farm. They end up north. It's fucking crows. I'm talking about the cane toad.
Yeah.
They introduced a cane toad for the beetle. And he talks about the crane, never went near the fucking beetle. Like, so I don't know.
Poor decision to
my
bring.
brain
Yeah.
just thinks of stupid shit.
Poor decision to bring in the cane toads, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And they're coming down south. They're heading south.
Are they?
Yeah.
Why?
Just migrating.
Migrating.
Yeah.
Or is it global warming? Maybe.
It could be the polar ice caps.
Yeah. That's what they should.
Could be the fact I drive too many V8 utes.
Yeah.
That could be that.
If you want New South Wales, the residents of New South Wales, to care about the planet, just say, look, the cane toads are coming,
and that's because of global warming.
Yeah. That's your advertising campaign.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, Hindy, let's get into some questions from the listeners. A bit of a football one first.
Ooh, footy question
Bit serious as well.
Ooh, look here.
Gareth Yol 7. Would you bench Hynes for Atkinson for next week for the Sharks?
That's a fair question. It's a fair question. Because Nicho's a quality player, but I think at the moment, I don't know whether he's thinking about the game too much and it's putting him off. But I think Fitzy's got some big decisions to make. I do. Yeah, Nicho, look, that's a good question.
It looks like it's not ability, it's Nicho's head.
I think it is too. Yeah.
We know he can play.
Yeah, we've seen him play. Yeah.
He's just not in it at the moment.
No. And to be, didn't find touch on the weekend, caught on the last. Like there's little things that are starting to creep into his game, but I don't know whether that's overthinking it or just got the yips. I don't know, but
and he looks like when he makes a mistake, he looks like he just goes, "Oh God!"
But I
know everyone's
everyone's on the case, but you've got to kind of get lift above that and go, well, this is unfortunate. The sport we play, and we've got to be open to criticism.
Maybe he just needs one of his teammates to spray him.
Chuck it out of your head, get it out of your head, and
maybe
go again.
Maybe too many pats on the back. Maybe he just needs Cam McInnes to go.
Cam McInnes, what about his head?
Oh man alive!
Oh,
I reckon he cuts himself in just goes. I'm just gonna
put the lotion on.
It just, mate, it's insane. Like
Every
actually
week.
insane.
Yeah.
I played with Cam, and he like mad as a box of frogs.
Yeah.
But I mean,
where did that saying come from?
don't know.
Right.
Mad as a cut snake on the field, mate, off the field, just and like so professional.
Yep.
But
Beaten,
fucking hell,
beaten face.
yeah. But I think he loves it.
Yeah.
Mate, he told
His
me
battle scars.
He told me a story. He played Penrith and he made like a ridiculous number of tackles and his face was all busted up. And he's a proper like hardcore family man. Made a promise to his boy that he'd take him to the zoo the day after that game. And he's like busted. He's like, well, I've got to stick to my promise.
Yeah.
His son was so excited. And the zoo is like obviously full of tourists. And like all these people were just like staring at him going like, what?
Been in a pub fight the night before.
What the fuck is this? Like, I reckon that's something you kind of miss as a footballer. Like, you don't get those funny looks from people who don't know when you've got like a black eye. Because we just used to knock around with them. It was par for the course.
I don't think I ever had one.
Really? I remember people saying like, "Oh,
No,
I
I had one split that required glue on my face.
Really?
Look at it.
You never get any scars or any black eyes.
I had a nosebleed.
Lucky man."
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, just managed to get through it with I had a little nick there.
Yeah.
One little nick there, which didn't need anything. That bled for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then a little one there, that just had a little bit of glue in it. Geez, that glue burns. It stings. I don't like that.
I think what you put that down to, kids, is great tackle technique.
Correct.
So,
Get your head in the right spot, kids.
Exactly. That's what it's all
You
about.
won't get split open by a set of knees or a hip or someone else's head.
So we've really not figured out whether Atkinson should come in for Hynes or go to the
Well,
bench.
I honestly think it's open for discussion, that is.
Yeah.
I would have that on my list of things to do. Big call.
Big call for huge call, because then the confident, the effect of that is, does his confidence go even
further down?
Yeah. Jeremy HO96. Great question. We've discussed it already. Is it time to start thinking about a new look to the finals with more teams coming in? Well, we've discussed that already. We have discussed
that. We've got our system.
O'Brien's
We've got our O'Brien system. Exactly. 13. We take 13 into the final series.
Here we go. Pick 3 former teammates who would be must-haves on a bender. That's Toddy G.
Toddy G. Must-haves on a bender. I'd have to go Daniel Wagon.
Oh.
He didn't mind a little bit of port at Christmas time. Mick Vella, I don't
Mick Vella?
know. He's a pain in the ass, Mick. No, I'd have to go Mick. Mick was always fun and he'd strap in, and
he was a tough bastard as well. Played against him for Hull KR.
Yeah, just bony.
Yeah, just
elbows and knees.
Yeah, just a weird technique.
Yeah. Well, he used to be a winger.
Did he?
Yeah, he used to be a winger. Couldn't catch a ball. So they moved him to the front row, plays for Australia and New South Wales in the front row.
Yeah.
But would come off the back fence at a million miles an hour. Yeah.
A horrible man to tackle.
Like Steve Simpson. Did you ever play against Steve Simpson?
No.
You wouldn't have. No test matches against Steve Simpson. No. Yeah, he was all elbows, titanium bones we used to call him, elbows and knees.
Mick Vella. So
Vella, and I'd probably I'd said Wagon, that's one. Vella. Yeah, an old teammate of mine, Kalis, I'd say.
Nathan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Jason.
No, not Jace. No, not Jason Kalis. No way. No. Nah.
I played with JC.
Yeah.
Interesting man.
Did you have your shirt on after a drink? Because he had a knack of ripping shirts off. Did he ever do that over there? He'd love to rip your shirt off.
Not that I recall.
Yeah.
Not that I recall. Rugby league is renowned for people that are tight, but he was next level.
Oh, the best. I'd heard a story that when he was over there in the UK for Super League, that he wouldn't refuse to turn on his central heating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as well, he signed a deal at St. Helens, and he basically was living off minimum wage. So he sent all his money back to Australia.
Yeah.
The club gave him a house, but it didn't include the bills. But we were on a night out, and there's a heap of people hey, we're going back to JC's. Yeah, get back. Well, there's no grog in.
No.
It's freezing.
Yeah.
There was no food. It was just protein powders.
Yeah.
And we'd get meals at the club for lunch, and they were just takeaway containers of those lunch. Mate, he was the.
I don't think anything's changed. I don't think anything's changed.
And it was just insane.
Well, I think he used to sit in the sheds and read that Rich Dad. I think it was a Rich Dad Poor Dad book.
Yeah.
I think he was right into all that sort of stuff. And they used to play a board game in the sheds. It was all about business and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So you wouldn't take JC on?
He's not coming on a drink with me. No, I'll take his brother Nate. Yeah, the old mate. Yeah,
the Aussie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny how people change, isn't it?
We get a bit older.
Yeah,
a little bit more sensible. Yeah.
How
mature.
How good's it when you see the old person come back? And you're outwards from your He's back. He's back.
Haven't seen it for a while. What about you? Who would you have?
Lattimore, 100%. Reynolds, 100%. And then the other one, I don't know. There's loads of lads in England that our listeners probably wouldn't know. It depends what I was after. And you got to think,
are we after? Yeah, what are we after when we talk about? Is it just sit around and talk absolute shit, and just sit at the same table and don't move?
Yeah,
because that's what I like. And we locking into a pub.
Yeah, bunker down.
Yeah. Don't need to go anywhere else. We're here.
Yeah,
let's not move.
Yeah,
let's not upset the apple cart.
There's a lad I Yeah, the lad I used to play with, he actually came over and played a few NRL games. Actually, Scott Moore. Like if you wanted something, if you wanted like to go for interest, you'd pick him. But if you wanted to, like, he couldn't just sit in a pub and be normal and have beers. He'd be like,
"This is
I'm going to do something."
Yeah.
He'd go looking for craziness. Like he'd come back probably with like. In fact, someone found him in the toilet once, casually, just. You know the little things that they put in the urinal? Eating those.
Get out of town.
I swear.
What colour were they though? The yellow ones or were they blue or pink?
Not doing, I just dare me to eat this. He was just doing it.
Oh, that's crazy.
But this egg, Scott, you're crazy. And he loved it. He sort of played up to it.
Is he still with us?
Yeah, he's still with us. He actually went down. He did a little stint in prison actually.
Oh.
Speeding and resisting arrest, running away from the scene. Yeah,
got to get off those toilet lollies.
He actually got tasered and he kept pulling it out. They couldn't.
So he's
get
officially
it.
mad.
Yeah. Like, and this just added to it. Yeah,
because if you keep pulling that taser out, you're a bit above everyone else. You're
like it would
you're
go
like the
in,
Hulk. Yeah,
and like they're firing it, and
that's ice. Speed.
Well, he was speeding.
Wonder what you're into those toilet lollies.
I don't know. But no, if you wanted, I don't want something. So he wouldn't be invited. Don't know. I'd reserve the other.
You can't reserve. He's asked for 3 former teammates. You got 2. We got Bobcat. Did you play the Bobby?
No.
You're a lot younger than us, aren't you? How old are you now?
39.
Oh, what are you doing for your 40th? 40's a big one. It's a big milestone, 40.
Well, maybe I'll probably just go somewhere casual, not like you, going to swanky. Do you know someone brought that up about me criticising you for going to
China Doll for
your
lunch?
45th, yeah. Or, was it 45th?
45th, yeah.
Like saying,
I was surprised that you don't even go. You're not a lunch person. You go out and have a bit of a nice feed and.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but not for my birthday.
Why not?
Because I don't know.
Do you not like birthdays? Are you a anti-birthday?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Is it because you're getting older every year?
No, I just grew up in a household where no one really gave a shit.
Yeah.
And just, it wasn't a big deal.
No, I like it. I like it to be all about me for a day.
Yeah, maybe for my 40th I'll go.
Well, 40's usually it's a big party, that is, a big milestone.
Have you been to Bistecca?
Who?
Bistecca in the city.
No.
Steak restaurant.
No.
Mate.
Good?
Amazing. They only do the one cut of steak, T-bone.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
I do like a T-bone.
Mate, do yourself a favour, go to Bistecca.
Bistecca.
It is top notch. Struggle to get in. Well, it's difficult to get in, but it's worth it. And amazingly, like this. Oh yeah. You'll find a way. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Us regular folk.
I'll ring Fletch. Fletch will get me in.
Yeah.
He opens doors. Fletch.
Yeah. Great as well. You know what they do there? At the start, they say, "Look, we're about experience. Can you just hand your phones in, put them in a box? They lock your phones away."
Really?
Love it.
Do you know what they're doing with your phones?
No, it's just they put it in a little thing. You see them put it in, you keep the key. Well, you think they're trying to skim your data?
Possibly. Yeah.
No, great restaurant, recommend it.
How do you get your T-bone cooked?
They recommend it medium rare, so go with
but how do you have it? How do you like your steak?
It depends what it is.
T-bone, we're talking T-bones.
Well, medium rare.
Medium rare?
Yeah.
Sauce? No sauce?
Sauce on the side.
Yeah, you don't want to waste a good steak, smother it in sauce.
No.
You want to taste the meat.
No. You don't want to. Yeah, and maybe I'll go for a dip a chip in there.
Yeah.
Dip a chip in the sauce. Maybe a little bit of the steak in the sauce, but not over the top.
I'm totally with you. Yeah. Don't waste the steak.
No. And one of the most annoying things, people that put tomato sauce, ketchup on this steak.
Tomato sauce.
It's a big
But I'll have it on a steak sandwich because it's only got those little minute steaks. You know those little minute steaks? But that's not really a steak. That's,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost like a beef sandwich as opposed to a steak sandwich. Like that, it is acceptable. If you've got a nice steak, you can't be dipping that thing in tomato sauce.
I'm with you.
You just can't. Anyway, that just about wraps us up. Maybe that can be part of the name of the show, foodie footballers.
We should start doing a cooking segment. Could we fit a cooking segment in? I'll bring in the air fryer. It's amazing what you can cook in the air fryer.
Hindy, don't.
Why?
Oh, they piss me off.
Why do they piss you off?
Because, they solve a problem that didn't exist.
In what do you mean?
Well, what can an air fryer do that an oven and a pan can't?
Chicken tenders.
Like
Quicker.
Yeah.
I've got 4 boys at home.
Yeah,
So our freezer is full of chicken tenders and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fine. But just throw them in the oven.
Do you know my kids?
No.
They are not the smartest. So this is easy for them. It's a lot easier for them. And you can cook a chook. We get this butterfly chook.
I know, but you can do them in the oven and on the barbecue as well.
But quicker.
Considering you're I'm
not a foodie. I just like food.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I look.
My mum and dad in COVID got an air fryer, and it's like they work for fucking advertising. like they get a commission. It's like, oh my god, hey, did I tell you about the air fryer? Oh, I was like, no, I can just use the oven or a pan or a barbecue.
Have you got one at home?
No, because
it will change your life. My wife, she's a foodie. My wife's a foodie. That's why we went to China for my birthday, because she wanted to go there. But she was dead set against getting an air fryer. Didn't want to do it. So I went out, had to buy one to sneak it, took it down to the farm because our oven and stuff down there is not that crash hot. She goes, well, I'm not touching it. I said, I'll use it then. I don't care if you don't use it, I'll use it. I cooked some chicken in it, changed her life. She still doesn't cook.
Yeah. See, for me, is your wife particular about things on the counter?
As in,
like
when she's when prepping?
No, like in general. So like is the toaster on the counter or away?
It's on it's behind a little.
Yeah. So it's out of sight. Yeah,
out of sight.
Yeah. So
I don't think she cares.
Yeah. So like even things like these new fancy taps that do the boiling water.
A lot
of women love them because they alleviate the need for a kettle to be on display. And I wonder, well, hang on a minute, you're going to angle for get rid of the kettle, get rid of the toaster, but you're okay to throw an air fryer in the middle of the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? That takes up valuable counter
Depends
space.
what colour it is though as well. It has to be white in our house.
Does it?
Yeah.
So it matches.
He's packing up.
Tony's packing up. That's a sign. That's a
stop talking shit.
Tony's packing
home.
up.
Yeah.
That's a sign. Join us next week for more cooking and foodie, and we'll be reviewing appliances. What's your favourite microwave?
Panasonic. I do enjoy a Smeg product.